So we're going to set up, we've done these episodes like the way that we're going to set this one up before, but it's been 87 years since we've done one like this. And so I'm like kind of excited for this. So occasionally there will be a topic that gets brought up that like one of us is more knowledgeable about than the other.
Sure.
And while I definitely have opinions,
Sure.
You sit more in this seat within our business. And
Yeah.
so this is going to be a little interview style. We stopped doing guests on the show like forever ago, and y'all seem to love it. So thanks for that. That was not sarcasm. Truly, thanks for that. But this is a way that it can feel like we're having a guest on the show again.
Ask me some questions, Emily.
Oh, hello, Abigail. Welcome to the show. This is the Strategy Hour podcast. I'm so excited that you're here.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. It's almost like I've done this before.
It's almost like you've sat through 637 of these episodes before.
And the real testament is I don't know how many have been repeats or how many times now it doesn't happen very often, but there are a few solo shows. So I don't actually know how many I've personally recorded.
Yeah.
But I would probably venture a guess over 600.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like I've only done one or two solo shows.
I feel like I did more solo shows than you have.
Yeah, you definitely have.
But for various reasons. Anyway.
Okay, you ready?
I'm excited to be your guest today.
So today, Abigail, thank you for coming on. And I know that you are, the CFO over at Boss Project.
Yeah.
And you sit in HR as well. Yeah. And you have worked hand in hand with some pretty incredible HR peeps to really learn about the hiring process for a company. And you have single-handedly shifted your team from it being just you and your incredible, beautiful, stunning, so smart co-founder, Emily, love her, to exploring contractors and like making some mistakes along the way, to exploring part-time employees, full-time employees, and pretty much everything in between. And you have started to have these conversations with your clients inside the Incubator about hiring. Mm-hmm. And have had conversations here on this very show about hiring. And we got some incredible conversations and some questions that I want to cover with you today.
Sure.
To pick your brain, to get your feedback, and to really, really give some advice and some things to think about for y'all to noodle on, no matter where you're at in your journey. Because I want you to all know, even if you're not like putting out your next job offer on LinkedIn tomorrow for a full-time employee. Do people put on LinkedIn? On Indeed. Maybe you put it on LinkedIn. See, I don't know. This is why I'm not the guest of this episode.
You do put it on LinkedIn as well.
Okay, great. Even if you're not ready yet for your first or next full-time employee, if you've thought about going from a one-person show to like exploring what does a part-time contractor look like, to what does a full-time contractor look like, or more hours, to employees, etc., I think this conversation is going to be very helpful for you, and we're going to like dig into the weeds.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so the very, very basic level, what is the actual difference between a contractor and an employee?
The actual difference is when you are hiring a contractor, you are in fact their client. There is a contract in place that covers what your relationship is for and the nature of the work being done inside that contract, how that work is handled, the schedule of it. It's all dictated by the actual contract, which is why you call it a contractor. An employee is typically an at-will relationship where you're both mutually agreeing to be in the relationship. And an at-will employee will have a set schedule, set hours, set things by the company. So rather than coming to a mutual agreement, the company is in charge of what the employment looks like and has much more control over how training is done and all the other things. In terms of legally, an employee would be W-2, a contractor would be 1099, at least in the United States. And under W-2, you would have taxes withheld. The company would be responsible for some of them. Under 1099, there would be self-employment tax. There's lots of different tax implications and various legal implications on the differences. but they operate very differently. And I think if you're trying to just look at the bare bones basics of it, an employee does have a bit more complication on the setup, but a lot more freedom in what the relationship can evolve into over time.
Yep. Love that. Okay.